Welcome to Braille Institute. Uh, Today we are discussing the mortality profit or death strain at risk. It is a DSAR. So this classes is coming under the cm1 actuarial mathematics. We have a 240 classes, and so if you want to purchase these classes, it's available in www.brailleinstitute.com. Register, then you can purchase these classes. So here today we are discussing the mortality profit. So what is the mortality profit? It is depending on some mortality rate. So mortality profit is depending on the mortality rate. For example, in term insurance, if lighter the mortality rate, term insurance, lighter the mortality rate, because term insurance, when we'll pay the term insurance, when this policy holder died, we'll give the sum assured amount. Death benefit will pay only on death. Claim will pay only on the death of the policy holder. So if you are lighter mortality, you face a lighter mortality, will get some profit. Company will get some profit. But in the life insurance, we have to get the higher mortality will be make some profit. So depending on the change in the mortality rate, we will get some profit. That we are discussing in this entire chapter. We have around 10 classes is available in this chapter. So one by one we can discuss. So first we can discuss what is the death strain at risk, then actual death strain and expected death strain. Then we'll go to the mortality rate. For example, is a term assurance. So 1 year term assurance, I issued a policy. 1 year term assurance is issued. Many policies for 1 year term assurance. So my term insurance, my sum assured is 50,000. My sum assured is 50,000. My expected death in entire year is at 10. So what must cost? My cost will be the 500,000. This is calculating by expected death. Expected death is getting from the our mortality rate, but here I am assuming this in this year 1 year time it was at 10. So my cost will be 500,000. My actual death in this year it was a 6. So what is my cost? Actual cost was 300,000. So my profit it is a 200,000. So like that we are going to calculate the mortality profit by using the expected death cost and divide minus subtract the actual death cost. So that we are getting the mortality profit. So we'll start with the what is the death strain at risk, DSAR. So before that we should remember what is the reserve. We studied the reserve in last 2 chapter back. We studied the what is the reserve. So reserve we calculate two way. So reserve is calculated two types of calculation. One is a prospective and other is a retrospective. So here we are calculating the prospective reserve. So prospective reserve is representing as a T V prospective. So this T and prospective reserve will calculate at end of the year. Will calculate at the end of the year. And here in this calculating the prospective reserve, we will use 5 terms. What are the terms? That one we know, that one we are studying last many chapters. I think or 10 chapters we are studying this only. And premium. So this is a sum assured. So benefit, we are paying the benefit. So these three are expenses, and this is the premium. So this all up to here, this is S plus E plus I plus F. These all are our outgo only. It is all our outgo, and minus premium. Premium only it is a income. So in prospective reserve TV Pro, we know that it is a expected present value of future outgo minus expected present value of future income. So prospective reserve is calculating TV is a expected present value. What is the present value? Expected present value of future outgo. Now we are calculating at the time T, not initial time. It is any point of time we can calculate. So at the time T we are calculating what is the expected future present value of future outgo. So that means this is a feature, this is a current year time t, this is a feature. So expected present value of future outgo, what are the outgo will be there, sum assured, some expenses will be there. So these are all calculating as a future outgo. Minus what is my income, future income. From here I will get the and premium, every year I will get the premium. So that is my expected present value of that future income. So this way we calculate in the prospective reserve. For example, we can calculate one prospective reserve. 45-year-old person, we can calculate. You can just remember this much, many classes we already calculated the prospective reserves. Just we can revise. Here also we can just revise. 45-year-old person is taken endowment assurance. So here it paid the, taken the endowment assurance. Endowment assurance, endowment assurance insurance only taken for the 25 year. So for 25 year his time is there, 25 year. So he will be coming 70 year, up to 70 year is taken. So now we are calculating the prospective reserve, and here sum assured is given. Sum assured is 75,000. Sum assured is given that it is a 75,000, and premium is given. Premium is given 2132 per annum. Advance annually, annually in advance, annually is paying annually in advance. So 2132 per annum, annually we are paying advance. So this is two data is given, is endowment assurance. Here we are ignoring the expenses, this term is ignoring. So we have only sum assured and premium. So end of the 10th year, so here is a 10th year. So end of the 10th year, here is a 11th year. So end of the 10th year means it will be at 31 December. Maybe at 31 December, if it is issued in the 1st January, then what will happen? 1st January will be next premium. 31 December we will calculating. Reserve is calculating end of the 10th year. So 31 December on that year. End of the 10th year we are calculating the reserve. So 10th year we reserve we are calculating expected. It is a prospective method. Expected present value future outgo. So what will be my outgo? Only sum assured, benefit only I am paying 75,000. 75,000. Yeah. So from here only I am calculating. So after 10 year means 45 is becoming 55-year-old person, and remaining 15 years is available. So after 10 year means he is becoming 55-year-old person, and remaining 15 year is available. So this is the sum assured, and minus premium. Premium, we know that the premium is paying 2132. So 2132, and how many premium will be there? It will be advance, annually in advance. So annuity due, we have to put annuity due 55 50. So it's endowment assurance, we are using 55 15 endowment assurance. So this formula we know it how to calculate, and this is calculating by using the table AM92 ultimate mortality at the rate of 4%. You are calculating by values are taken from the AM92 ultimate mortality at the rate of 4%. So A55, we know the A55, how to calculate A55. 55 to 15, it will be A55 minus of D70 divided by D55, then A70. So this is a formula we can use, and values is take from the table. So, and this final value will get 75,000. So this values is take from the table. A55 also we can calculate by using this formula. A55 is equal to 1 minus D A55 50. Using this formula we can calculate A55. So formulas is written here, HN minus D HCN. AHN is equal to AH minus, and all AH is available in IM92 table. AH plus N, it is a 70. That value also is available in IM92 table. So 75,000 is multiplying with the values. It is a 0.57621 minus 2132 multiplying with 11.0185. So totally we'll get the 19725. So premium is required here, is reserve is required 19725. it is required at the time of end of the year 19725. Why this reserve is required? Now you see, expected present value of future outgo minus expected present value of future income. So there is a, what is it, this difference 19725, this is actually loss. Future outgo, what is my outgo? This, if you are calculating, will get 43,216 minus 23,491. So my income in that period of time, what is my income? My income is only 23,491. My future income will be only the, at the present this time 23,491, but my future outgo, what is a 43216. So I have facing the loss, company is facing the loss. So this amount, at least minimum this amount, make as a reserve. This amount we need to keep as a reserve. So that is the purpose. Avoiding the solvency, we are keeping the reserve. So based on this formula, we calculated the reserve. So we know how to calculate this. This reserve calculation will be there. All the questions, we have to calculate the premium. Sometime premium value will not give, we need to calculate the premium. After that, reserve we have to calculate at the time of t plus 1 only. Here will be a t plus 1 b, that we can calculate t plus 1 b. So we calculate the reserve we got the 19,725. Now we want to calculate next year, 11th year, end of the 11th year. So this is the end of the 11th year. So start of the 12th year, here it is the start of the 12th year. So next December 31 December. So end of the 11th year, how much reserve is required? So this is different. This year, what is a reserve? This year reserve will be a different, and sometime reserve will increase. Why? Because person is a 45-year-old person. So going on, his age is increasing. Now you see, he is in 55 year, again is 56, 57, going on increasing the age. Mortality rate will change. Mortality rate will be higher. If higher the mortality rate is higher, then what will have? Cost will increase. Sum assured, you have to pay more sum assured. So that is why increasing, we required more reserve. Initially we required lesser reserve. Why? Because mortality rate will be lesser. But increasing, then we required more reserve because of mortality rate will be higher. So in next year reserve, how to calculate next year reserve? Next year reserve we are calculating by using the recursive relationship. What is the recursive relationship? We studied in the chapter TV. This is a previous year 10th year reserve plus G minus E and 1 plus I is equal to Q S plus T S plus F plus P S plus T plus 1 V. So this is my t plus 1 is my next year reserve, 11th year. So this is my 10th year reserve. Here it is my 11th year reserve. 11th year reserve is calculating by using the recursive relationship. So this is a relationship already solved in that chapter. So finally we find out the equation. This is my recursive relationship equation. What are the terms are here? Here I am not using E, I, F and all. So E I am just deleting. Here F also I am not using. So F also I can delete. And G I am using P only, premium only. Instead of gross premium, I just writing as a premium. So in 10th reserve, what is my 10th reserve? It is a 19,725 plus my premium. My premium I will get a 2132. If I both I am taking to interest rate my is a 1.04. If you are taking the both, then my QS plus T, what is my mortality rate on Q55. Mortality rate will calculate start of the year. We are calculating the end of the year. We are calculating mortality rate at the year of start of the year. We are calculating the mortality rate. Then sum assured, and this one you can write 1 minus Q55 and T plus 1. So this is my recursive relationship. Using the recursive relationship, we can find out the next year T plus 1. How to find out T plus 1? This we can write 9,725 plus 2,132 and 1.04 minus of this Q55 yes, and divide by 1 minus Q55. So using this formula, we can find out the T plus 1 V. This is my next year relationship. T plus 1. So this is my recursive relationship. We studied the recursive relationship for finding the next year reserve. Here we are not, if you are finding out the reserve, we will get a reserve is approximately 22,496, 22,500. So 22,500 is required my next year reserve. Next year reserve, I required the 22,500 something is required. So here is reserve is increased. Here was a 19,725. Next year reserve was increased. Now we can divide that reserve into different way. So this is my formula. Formula for the finding out the reserve. I am taking the, instead of 10, I am taking the T. Taking the T and reserve premium 1 plus I QS plus T. Here also I am taking the T plus 1. Next year reserve PS plus T I am writing as a plus 1 minus QS plus T. So this is my recursive relationship. So TV plus P 1 plus I is equal to QS plus T S. So this one just again we can just write as a 1 multiplies T plus 1. So T plus 1 V. We'll write like that. Is equal to QS plus T S, QS plus TS plus T plus 1 V and minus QS plus T, T plus 1 V. Now this T plus 1 V I am taking out. So T plus 1 V, T plus 1 V. This is a one term, and Q plus S plus T I am take out. This here QS plus T is there, here also QS plus T is there. So S minus T plus 1 V. Now you see, my here is 22,500 is my result. So now you see, my recursive relationship for finding the next year reserve. Next year reserve is a recursive relationship. Through the recursive relationship, this relationship I calculated the, I just expanded QS plus I expanded here, and this one is this is the, so here it is a TV plus P and 1 plus I equal to, due to recursive relationship, this is next year reserve. But here some one term is there additional. So this is my additional. This is my additional. This is a death rate, mortality rate, and this term is my additional requirement for the next year. This is my additional requirement for the next year. So this term is my additional requirement for the next year. So this term S minus T plus 1 V. So this we are calling as a death strain at risk. At that time, what is my death strain? This is a DSAR. So this additional term, you see, my recursive relationship I used it to find out the next year reserve. Next year reserve I find out the recursive relationship. From the relationship I just expanded. Now I understood that this is my next year reserve. But what is my income? Income is reserve is only 19,725 and my premium, and I will get some interest income. So this is only my interest income. But this one I required extra. Why it is due to that death strain I required extra. So this term I am representing as a DSAR, and entire term I am representing as a my expected death strain. This is total I am representing as a my expected death strain. This term I am representing as a my DSAR. So DSAR is calculating S minus T plus 1 B. So death strain will write like that only. Death strain will write 0 if lives are survived. If the life survived, there is 0. There is no death strain. If life survives up to time T plus 1. If you are survived, there is no death strain. But if you are not survived, T plus 1 V. This is my death strain T plus 1 V. So sum assured minus next year, that end of the year, what is the reserve I required? That is my death strain. That is my strain in the sense it is a cost. That is my cost due to that death. In the year, what is my cost will come due to that death. So this difference is the my death strain. So this is if the life, this lives dies in the year, year will represent T2 T plus 1 in the during the year. during the year. It is not a closed bracket, it is an open bracket. We will calculate up to the t plus 1 only. We will not calculate t plus 1. It is a closed bracket. We will start with the t. So this is my death strain. Hope you understood about the death strain is coming under the reserve calculation. Reserve calculation, we studied the recursive relationship calculation. From the recursive relationship, we understood that some additional term is coming under the recursive relationship. This one is my death cost of the death. So this one is we call as a expected death cost, death strain. We will call as a expected death strain. And this term s minus t plus v, t plus 1 v, it is the my. So this is the reserve at the time t plus 1, and my during the time what is my sum assured. This sum assured will be end of the year. Will pay this sum assured also will pay end of the year. T plus 1 also will finding out the end of the year. So s minus t plus 1 v. This is a my death strain. Hope you understood about the death strain. If you find out the death strain, it is a very easy to calculate. Death strain, if people are died, it will be a death strain s minus t plus 1 v. Expected death strain. What is my expected death strain? Expected death strain. So expected death strain is representing as EDS. So EDS is writing as a QES plus T, same formula, S minus T plus 1 V. If number of policies are higher, so my expectation will be, I have to multiply with my policy. If I have 1,000 policies issued, so I have to multiply with the number of policies. 1,000 is multiplied with QS plus T and S minus T plus 1 V. And what will be my actual death strain? That two terms are there. My actual death strain. Actual death strain, if you are died in based on our expected death. This is my expected death cost. My actual death strain. This is how we'll get how many people are died and during the year. So from that data, we'll get the actual death strain. So actual death strain means how many people are died. Multiply with this S minus T plus 1 V, DSAR. So this is representing as a EDS. EDS is equal to EDS, expected death strain, is equal to expected number of people are died, multiply with the our total death strain, DSAR, death strain at risk. And ADS means it is a actual number of death, multiply with the DSAR. So this term is a DSAR. So expected death strain, this coming here, and actual death strain, actual number of people, and multiply with the my death strain. So this is formula. EDS for the expected number of death is multiplying with the DSAR, and ADS is actual death strain, means actual number of people death, we are multiplying with the DSAR. Hope we understood about the death strain. Death strain is and now we can solve one small problem. In the life insurance, term life insurance, we issued the 1,000 policies. In term life insurance, we issued 1,000 policies. One year term life insurance, 0 to 1 year only. We issued 1,000 policies. 1,000 policies issued, and our mortality rate is 1%. Mortality rate is 1%. So we are expected, and our sum assured is paying. If you are died, we will get the 50,000. Sum assured is paying. So my S minus T plus 1 V. So this is my death strain. Now what is my death S sum assured is 50,000. Here there is no reserve because it's only 1 year policy. So we have only sum assured amount. So my expected death strain, EDS, what will be my expected death strain? How to calculate my expected death strain? Expected number of death, number of policies 1,000, and my mortality rate, we need to multiply with my mortality rate 1% and my sum assured. Here the reserve is not there because it's 1 year policy, so we are not keeping any reserve. So our sum assured amount is 50,000. So here will be a 10 in multiply with the 50,000, so it is a 500,000. Now you see my expected death strain is I am expecting that 10 people will die during the period of time 0 to 1 year. In period of time 1 year, 10 people only will die. That is my expected death. So I will keep as a my sum assured is a 500,000. 500,000 I have to pay benefit, death benefit I have to pay. But actually how much is happened? Actually it's happened 8 people are died. 8 people are died during the year. During the year 8 people are died. So we are calculating ADS. So actual number of people are died 8 instead of 10. Here 8 people are died. My sum assured is I have to pay. I paid only for 400,000. Now you see this is my expected death. So I kept this one much amount I have to pay in this year. But actual how much I paid? I paid only 400,000 because 8 numbers only died. So what is will be my mortality profit? Mortality profit is equal to EDS minus ADS. So it is a 500,000 minus 400,000. So we'll get the 100,000. So this is my mortality profit. So this is way is calculating the mortality profit. We have a different classes is there, and immediately sum assured will give immediately on death, and some benefit is payable, and 2 lives. So many another next class and all we will discuss with the different types of problems. Different types of problem will come here. So that all problem will discuss in a 1 by 1 class. It will be almost 8 to 10 classes there for mortality profit. Thank you.